Halo, halo, halo guys. Welcome to join stream. Story quest Archon Hydro Furina. Apakah belum gacha bang? Sebelumnya gacha, ya hampir gacha sih, tapi ya untuk beberapa masih nguli dulu guys. Pasti gacha kok guys, soalnya ya red on gua setelah kalah dari banner Yelan dan Lini. Awal rilis Fountain itu kalah red off gua guys, 90 PT red off kalah guys. Sekarang red on PT 10. So saja kita bisa mendapatkan Archonnya apa menjadi membadut lagi. Wait. Biru. Halo yang baru join di malam hari ini guys. Langsung saja kita push Genshin Impact versi 4.2 story dari Furina. Apakah dia memang Archon bukan Archon asli? Selesai kata.
Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation? situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays...
Got it. Oh, this one confused me. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help them figure out another solution. Maybe there's...
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder. Payment approved. Let's go. Hello there. Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my...
Wow. Sounds like we're pretty famous and fun scene already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience.
Being that asking for a help, if we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. And now...
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is one last show. And after that, we go our separate way. Nobody wants things to just... Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with the show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake...
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the more, that's not exactly... We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... She's really good at performing.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her! You're...
Nope.
I'm sure Of course.
No point in stressing about... Besides, things are different now. There's no...
Thank you for your help.
Wait, where does FURINA...
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Whoa! When did you get here?
I came over when things were starting. It is my duty to support Commissioner...
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find FURINA. Did Catherine really give us the right address? She
Thì
lives
cô là FURINA.
here? Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, A bit of a step down from the Palais Marmoon.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and
Buset, karuan
bolognese the
suruhan
next.
ya, Archon.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la leche faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time if I...
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please...
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the traveler said! I know what the... Hang on a sec, you haven't exactly hold you back either.
Yakin no ya, yakin na,
Don't worry, it's not
na na,
It's just very
baca ilmu ketenangan,
What specifically makes this map...
kurang dosa, kurang
I see.
cinta
After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine. But given present circumstances...
It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage.
Kenapa?
Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same, of course. That can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any of my roles.
Now, Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely...
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
No,
Short and to the point. Okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an
But, I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get to themselves. Is there anything else we can do? This performance really needs...
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really.
It's alright, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. Alright then.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Yakin no yakin aku tenanan sampai janji aku seberani tendangan.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision. Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my...
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf? Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventure...
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal...
I see. Well, circumstances have changed. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all.
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scoop.
Jeez, is Lady Furina real?
Only joking. Calm down. So, yes? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still...
Look, there's no... This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up... So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to...
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Wih, kaget. Loh, Mbak Furina longgo.
Hey, how did you...
Archon kok nyantai mulu ya, Kak. Kerja apa gimana gitu loh.
I forgot a couple of... Alright, no need to panic. Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded way. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any
Request
case,
Archon
it sounds
tadi
like the issue
pas
has
Kak
already been resolved.
apa Kak korup ngono video.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help,
Furina.
I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how...
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as they.
Wah, you nak banyak
Just,
kocak.
I was wondering.
The best
If
game
this truth
RPG
is so
open world.
important to all of you, why? If the
Ini
difficulties are
youtubernya
purely
ini,
financial, then there must be a solution.
youtuber
You,
medit.
everyone
Nah,
seems so
youtuber
devoted to
medit
the
nih
truth.
guys main sama
I'm sure if you keep chipping away.
kayak
We all want to believe
Bejumers.
that, but everything's been
Nyewa
going
diletak.
downhill ever since we
Brando.
lost our director.
mentok
She
di
was the heart
Inazuma
and soul of our...
Her name was
band
Aurelia,
terakhir ya
and she was the founder as
awal
well as
rilis
the artistic
dari
director of our...
Zombie Kanyu.
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still...
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss FURINA. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life. People loved our performances back then.
And then disasters struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. And none of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
FURINA.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can member, but only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return is something I can get to realize my hardship and regret. And that there's a lot of resolve emotions of the party. An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotions take, for example, how this troupe finds for their late director. Things such as this.
Huh. Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back to the action.
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from it.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of you. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space.
Kok tahu gue takas? Yo. Nek kon gelem ngijolno receh, ijolno. Gak ono blas dek receh. ngarepe sekolahan Mojo Jajan ono pabrik ya nang kono ya. Ngarepe pabrik plastik. Iku wis suwe ta jek kait. Heeh. Koyoke jek anyar koyoke beberapa bulan. Aku mang lak golek insto nang Mojowarno. Nang kene gak ono Gak ono. Ngendi? Gak ono. Ngendine? Gak ono. Aku cocoke sing cool gubuk sing dry es, panas dry es iku. Sing cool adem.
What's Lady FURINA doing here?
Bolak-balik aku nang gayam, nek ngantuk mesti gak ono, tau welat. Nek kuno lah apa jangkep nang kuno. Masih yo kacek 1000. Tapi menjangkep. Mesti ono. Kene telat kabeh. Dodolan ketemu.
I'm sure they need no introduction. You bet. That was the trial of the century.
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying the Little Oceanus? Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. Her greatest regret is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take...
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Terima kasih yang udah join guys di streaming kali ini. Halo yang baru datang, yang baru join, halo guys. Terima kasih udah sempet-sempetin waktunya untuk join di live kali ini. Nikmatin aja storynya guys.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people...
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. And one last thing. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an end. The other is Vilmont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's... He didn't...
With police, what opportunity?
Maybe you're unaware, but
Our director is constantly singing her praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop. You're making me all flustered. Although, I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts. But one by one, all the obstacles are removed.
makes sense. Okay, priority number 1. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's...
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors. Given that Poisson was flooded not too...
Yeah, maybe you could use some company.
Poisson. Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? Just wrapping...
Okay, then. Looking forward to your...
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had... Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Palo? Looks like you could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Dahlia.
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are alright, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we get to all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not to avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of FURINA. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate... Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with. So, maybe...
overjoyed if the people here could find it in their heart. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to the facade dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially. I guess I wasn't quite ready.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
I can't let myself see.
There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company. So please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but for years or so, as I stand here by the ship, I can't believe that she's rising one after another. People were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their God would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
Had to go through so many things like that for the sake, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing, and fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst case scenario thanks to that everyone rose to their responsibilities. And I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means
I would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
a reward. I guess so. And back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was. And believe in the FURINA you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be able. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. I Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same. I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. At least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Fellow should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Didn't you say you
Sokol.
needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolf.
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about. It's your... I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills...
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back. Could you maybe put your differences aside?
You're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great. So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard that she's playing the Oceanid turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role. Well, the boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness.
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
I think it's a symbolic statement about our director. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troop. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was. You mentioned earlier that the troop was like your home. Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with... It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troop and the people in it. I was a lost child too when she found me. As a child, the other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on." One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore.
Let me guess. Fortunately.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, I was somewhere that someday you hoped would never come. Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. FURINA. The FURINA? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troop and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little, she finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, the people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil, the
little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the freshwater to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind it. The lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water.
And then
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save.
huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if...
Thing would be a perfect mirror to Director O'Reilly's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director O'Reilly had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue. He waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned, we looked for her. The Gardamix looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have...
Vilma, the one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, because... Well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with...
What? You...
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. Never been able to agree on the ending again. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she never considered us as... Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come. Apollo. So if I'm the one writing this ending, I'm gonna make sure it does right.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilma. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y.
Bisa maisang andaikan bunga melayu andaikan bunga
This is tough going.
ya kalau pentro itu
I think this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait. Why are you all looking at me? We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen FURINA in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her powers so it could be converted into indemnitium.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put.
It sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day. Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode FURINA.
wah pokoknya kok sok nokono kabeh. Masya Allah. Kene jagani kulaan niku lho. Aja ngono ta, Gas. Kulaan opo? Sebek niku nek entek ge kulaan iki.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lift.
No worries, piece of cake.
One with nature.
Booba, get them.
One with nature.
kelihatan kata-kata ya. Oh, iya.
Stay focused. Everybody stand back. Let's light it up.
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Lah, kalau tulisan
Vilma, are you there?
Prince Life ya.
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady FURINA doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
So,
Lurusin ke belakang.
you think
Dah,
the truth
gitu.
about the director's disappearance will... I care just as much as everyone else about making the little Oceanid a success. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us.
Vilma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aureli's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up, but now I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. The little Oceanic cannot be complete unless we do justice to her.
This is why people think of you as nothing. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from tip. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but... So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting. The drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. He contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. And then I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything. Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it.
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. What do you mean? You were afraid. This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her. How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the...
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you end my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face again.
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I could tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story. But isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director O'Reilly. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny. Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that... hollow and go all at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded me.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything in...
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and myself.
It's all right. Let's save all this for...
The ending.
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what... The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victim. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind,
Perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her...
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aureli's true feelings.
No.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news. No, my sword!
Mulai anget.
I had to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times.
Halo, halo guys. Halo, halo.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit.
So, this is all Aurelie left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on...
Let me take a look. To whoever discovers this diary, looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving that...
Lachey took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to... wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This... If you become human, you can reveal...
Isn't that the most important line in the...
Because I am an older...
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration. Let's go. It's time.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to...
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think... Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director O'Reilly.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing...
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, if you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss FURINA. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. But,
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
what are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you? I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me, too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Neuvillette. I know just where to find him. Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss FURINA. And you too, traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be... The story of the Little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes. This is the first time that I've seen you like this since your
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human story. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom. But I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding...
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalek.
You are very welcome.
Apa? Halo guys yang udah join. Udah like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys.
Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Nervalette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity,
But we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated... Now, let's work together. And this is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing. Even though FURINA's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening nook.
Aku coy, haruskah aku menemukan dirimu?
Accursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, O little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only... What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about...
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they'd cure it. So they were only managing your...
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me...
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time.
Miss FURINA, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess I'm...
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Thank you, Miss FURINA. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Is she here yet?
Let's get here.
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Wah, ngerti. Ini game berkualitas ini. Tapi ini siji farming Gimana guys, terhibur apa enggak guys dengan cutscene-nya Mbak Furina atau Hydro Archon SMP?
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want? Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now? She hasn't been seen for a while now. And she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever. The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont. Wait, that's not her name. I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully it's too bad that I had to break the year rule I'd managed to make for myself. Even still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all. She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
No big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during... Hannah flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that... I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop. Shuki!
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what...
Kok gak nasi ndelok. Sik.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the...
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while FURINA was...
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. Don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed. Well, one way or another, I've had bad luck ever since I was born. So I never expect things to go...
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't...
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the...
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about...
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other? So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation. No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all this happened, I should give you guys some space.
Just walk off! Ugh.
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss FURINA's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but...
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. What about you, Miss FURINA? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscure... You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has... Maybe Nervillette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself, yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the... I'm sure this is what captivated me.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true cause. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what it...
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Akhirnya guys, kelar juga quest story dari apa namanya, Hydro Archon FURINA. So kalau kalian masih ingin lanjut nonton live Genshinku atau mau udahan, ya silahkan aja guys, gua akan mau daily bentar karena resinku dari tadi udah penuh dan weekly udah reset. So thank you udah nonton, thank you udah like and subscribe. Sampai ketemu di konten-konten live streaming selanjutnya. Gue Bagus Lingga, selamat malam guys.
There are leaves around. And I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Thank you for Add Astra.
There'll be an extra.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
There'll be an extra. I'll think about it. There'll be an extra.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
I'll think about it.
Error.
I carry memories of my home.
I'll
This blade,
think about it.
it is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
There'll be an extra.
Bigger next time?
I'll think about it. There'll be an extra.
Rebooting.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
Oke guys, thank you udah nonton, thank you udah like tuh. Oke guys, thank you udah nonton, thank you udah like, share. Sampai ketemu di stream selanjutnya. Gue Bagus Lingga, bye bye.